at Atlantic Canada's first Seafood Industry Innovation Summit right here in beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland at the Marine Institute. Stephen, a lot of great conversations being had in and around here in the seafood sector, and bringing all of Atlantic Canada together, share those best practices. We've had a lot of islanders on the show talk about what they're doing over there and Canada's food island. Stephen, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Okay, my name's Steve Gould, and I'm the Technical Resource Manager at BioFoodTech. And so my role is to, we have a lot of clients wanting to come in and basically help them troubleshoot specific problems. Some of them want to just come in and toll process in our facility. We have an amazing facility with four pilot plants that can be utilized for producing food, or can be modified to actually extract compounds of interest out of different biomasses, and that leads to a lot of clients wanting to come in and see if they can basically take some of their side stream products and see if they can extract some valuable components out of their material. Could it be anything from a side product from the lobster industry to agricultural products. I mean, when you take a cabbage, for instance, and you go into the field and cut a cabbage off, there's about, I'd say 50% of the product is still there. The cabbage, all of the extra leaves, there's probably some very interesting compounds in there, but traditionally the farmers just plow it back in or feed it to the pigs, and they get some use out of it, but maybe there's a better use for it. So sometimes an entrepreneur will look into that large biomass and say, what can we do with it? And they come to us. We have some skills that we've developed over the years in trying to separate or tease out specific compounds, or at least group a specific bunch of compounds. So instead of a big pile of leaves, now you have a little bag of powder, and that powder may be used further on in cosmetics, pharmaceutical, other things like that. So we have that ability there. But on the other hand, we may get a client that wants to come in and just simply increase their business, bring their, let's say they just have a little lobster dip they want to prepare. They may take some bits of lobster, some cream. They'll do it in our CFIA inspected facility, and we will help them with their regulatory requirements. We'll meet all of the food requirements, help them build and blend their seafood material that they've been doing in the kitchen. We'll take it up into the pilot scale so that they can make a pallet load of material and send it out to the market right from our facility.
Wow.
We ship it directly to the market. Right now we have a client that makes kimchi, a traditional Korean dish, and they make it from scratch. They bring the cabbage in, they bring all of the material in. CFIA is monitoring the facilities, and our facilities where it's being produced. We put it into cases and pallets, and it's on the shelves in Sobeys.
Wow.
And so from full scale, we do just about anything that the food and biomass industry is looking for. So when it comes to this conference and the utilization of byproducts that are in the industry, I think we're well positioned, and we have done a lot of work in that area. Project that we've had is with some invasive species, some plants that are out growing in the wild, and one client found a unique compound in these plants. So we take them into our facility, we've macerated them, we've extracted them with a solvent, ethanol in this particular case, and then we take that ethanolic extract after we filter it. We take it out and we dry it down into a powder, and we make it a free-flowing, beautiful powder. And just from there, taking that product from an invasive species root to a powder, we bring that on. The client takes it away. They formulate it into something else, and it's a product on the market right now that may revolutionize dentistry.
Wow.
Of all things.
And I know some of your products not only go on the shelves of Sobeys, but some of your products have made it into space. I know this for sure.
I'm not as familiar about that one, and I didn't get the invite to go on the trip with them.
Of course, I'm talking about Honeybee and their product making it up to space.
Yeah.
But that's fantastic. Tell me now. I love the lens on that. That co-product, that finding value in what was once perhaps seen as a problem or a challenge, or even an expense to get rid of. I love the lens on that. Tell me about your lens on automation. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, that's when we're working with our facility. Like I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned it on the show, but it's 35 years I've been there. So in the early days, there was very little automation, very little data that would be electronic data that would be gathered. But we're working with one of the people speaking at this conference. Actually, I think it is David. I can't remember his name. Anyway, he's working there, and we're looking at trying to streamline our processes. We are we can be a food production plant following all of the quality protocols for either a GMP type process or a CFIA regulated process, and all of the data that's recorded. Currently we're doing it with paper, and it's really quite cumbersome. I came into this role and I saw the amount of paper that's involved in that specific task, and so we're working with Dave to try and find a way to automate it right now. And if we're going to become the leaders and showcase for individuals who are trying to grow their business, we want to also show them how this automation can work, at least from data collection and information gathering. As for the equipment automation, at this point, we're still using older equipment. We will get more modernized equipment as time goes on, ones that are able to record digital data and monitor aspects of it. So we will get there, as everybody else is trying to do right now, and that's one of the purposes of this session, is we're sharing ideas and looking at best practices so that we can incorporate them in our...
David McNally, of course.
David McNally.
David McNally.
Sorry, David.
Yeah, no worries. No, David is certainly leading the way in that digitization area for sure. Great conference. Has it been everything you expected so far?
More than that. I've been to a few of these over the years, and sometimes it's scientists talking to the industry, and sometimes there's not a real connect, or there may be a disconnect. The Marine Institute is amazing. The work that they did to show those practical demonstrations downstairs are second to none. I'm hoping that someday it'll be in PEI, but I also fear it because I'm not sure I can live up to what these guys did here.
Dave, it's been great to have you on the conversation here, and really amazing things you guys are doing over there, and certainly adding to this ecosystem, particularly on the topic of that byproduct piece that I think is really needed, and we appreciate you being there.
Well, one thing I wanted to comment on, if I can add a few more seconds, is that...
we have the whole internet.
Okay. Awesome. Well, one of the things is I've been thoroughly amazed with the like-minded organizations. Like, we're owned by government, a wholly owned subsidiary of a Crown corporation, and we see other organizations. I met a few from an organization from Quebec, and I have their card. I can't remember the exact name, but they're doing the same thing in the seafood industry. Another research facility in Sept-Îles, one in Gaspé, that I knew nothing about before. And maybe it's just because I'm new to the sort of management phase of things, but these people are doing amazing things in their area, and similar to what ours. We've got a lot of shared. We need to basically do some technology transfer and talk about different things where we can help them and vice versa. And this whole conference itself, and when you look at Perennia, BioFoodTech, and the Marine Institute, we've sort of worked with each other on the periphery for a while, but coming together for this is going to have amazing ramifications in the future of bringing organizations working together as a team to help the industry as a whole. We all have our own biases. We want everybody to come sit up in PEI. You heard that. Come to PEI, set up a business. We will help you every way we can. Our provincial government is very open to new business coming our way, as I'm sure they are in Quebec, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Newfoundland, but PEI's the best, just want to say.
I certainly appreciate that's a great conversation for sure, and you're so right that we are definitely stronger together than we are apart. As you were describing that, I had visuals of the movie Gladiator in mind, where everybody is coming together, but that's wonderful and a great way to end the conversation. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you very much.